What's up, guys? Austin here at the Sound Room in Asheville, North Carolina, here to talk to you some more about fingerstyle. Here we go. So last time I told you something that I think is still really important to go over, which is that the thumb on your picking hand, your right hand, well, unless you're left-handed, is the leader of the band. And what that means is that it does the most movement, and it really should be in charge of where most of your fingers go. You see, your thumb has to follow the root note of the chord that you're playing on the left hand, and that's not always in the same spot. I've broken this down into three categories, or three positions rather, to make it really easy to remember. Position 1, I'm going to call the E position. This is the position where your thumb needs to be hitting the E string. Position 2 is the A position, where your thumb needs to be hitting the A string. And finally, position 3 is the D position. Now, all three of these positions have slightly different rules, so let's go over those. When you're in the E position, it basically means that you're playing any chord where the root note can be found on the low E string. Examples of this are the G chord, where the root note is here. The E minor chord is another really popular, great example. This one's tricky, people forget this one, but the root note is the open E string of that. If you're playing the F chord as a bar chord or this wraparound chord, that's where the root of this is. This also includes any bar chord where the low E string is the root. When you're in this position, your thumb needs to bounce from the E string to the open D string for the alternate. So your pattern would look like this. Now let's move to the A position. This has got the same implications as the E position. Any chord where your root note is on the A string, your thumb needs to start on the A string, and it's going to bounce to the D string again for the alternate. This is chords like C, A minor, B minor, or any bar chord that starts on the A string. And finally, we have the D position. This is where all of your hand, your entire hand from the C position, is going to shift down a string. Now we've got our thumb, our root is on the D string, and our alternate is going to be on the G string below it. And so your first finger needs to become responsible for the B string, and your middle finger needs to become responsible for the E string. This is the D chord. This would be shorthand F. That's that F major 7 chord. So the idea behind putting your right hand into three separate positions, at least to start with, has some pretty awesome implications. Like, you only have to really master 3 positions over here, and then you just have to kind of also separately think about what chord you're playing here and use the correct position. You could practice this by changing chords on your right hand between 2 or 3 chords that are in the same right hand position. Notice how my right hand plays this same pattern over this chord progression. Just that, over and over and over. You could do the same thing with the A position. Let's go C to A minor. Come to think of it, that's just landslide if you add this G over B in between those. Now, that being said, that's an awesome exercise, and you should totally do it, especially to get your right hand used to just doing the same pattern over and over. But obviously, songs tend to use chords that are not all in the same position. Not every song is landslide, basically. So here's a really good exercise to get used to those three positions. We're just going to jam them all into one 4-chord progression that actually sounds good. We're going to go G for 2 beats, C for 2 beats, D for 2 beats, and then C again. 1, 2, ready, go. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being here. Make sure you like, subscribe, give me a comment. I'd love to know what you want to see next from this room. What can I help you with? And yeah, we'll see you next time.